Good evening, everybody. It is meteorologist Aiden's weather forecast, and welcome back to the tropical update. So yes, today was actually going to be a double upload a bit later into the day. So I had one earlier come out around 4:30, and now I'm having one right now at 7:30. So yeah, I hope you guys are enjoying these later updates again. This won't be an all-time thing. It was just because I had some plans earlier on today. So guys, we actually have a lot of new updates. More of the updates are more into the tracks, into the intensity guidance. There's not a whole lot of more updates on the really like the winds or the millibars or the National Weather Service. It's more into the tracks, and also with the winds, we actually have some more updates on that. So that's actually the bigger threat there. But before we get to the video, please subscribe to the channel if you are new and if you like daily updates. Tomorrow will be the start to fall and winter week, which is my new tradition. So the first week of August, I'll be doing a lot of uploads on fall and winter related. So stay tuned for that. I don't know when the video is gonna come out because I'm gonna go to the pool with my friend. So it might be in the afternoon. I don't know if it can be a morning one, but yeah. And also be sure to like the video, for it lets me know that you like videos like these. And also be sure to hit the post notification icon for you get notified on when videos come out like this. So if you guys want to know all the new updates, stay tuned. So as you can tell, we're going to be looking at the National Weather Service again. We don't have a whole lot of new information here. As you can tell, we do have the hurricane warnings all across parts of Hawaii. We do have it all in the red, so it's not racist. We don't have any areas of Hawaii that have a hurricane warning. So if you're wondering why it stops from here in the blue, because the ocean, the blue, is technically part of Hawaii. So again, it's the ocean all around the Hawaii area, or that's considered Hawaii. No inland areas or ocean areas next to Hawaii have hurricane warnings, except for the areas that are not considered Hawaii. So all this red you see are hurricane warnings. Even though Erick won't be the huge threat, it'll be Flossie. Having hurricane warnings around the islands isn't really the best or most comfortable thing. So again, you guys just need to watch out for these hurricane warnings. We also have tropical storm warnings in this darker red color for the off the coast of the Big Island. So that's actually a threat because it is in these it's technically in the areas that's considered Hawaii. It's also off the coast. We have some coastal areas in Hawaii that actually have tropical storm warnings. And then for all of the Big Island, we do have flash flood watches for all of the island. So that's going to show you that they can have technically a lot of rain there, almost about half a foot. I know that's not a huge amount, but they're not going to get hit, which is actually still a lot of rain. And then we do have small craft advisories. We're also going to be taking a look at the cities in Hawaii and how far these systems are from there. So yeah, let's look at the cities. So we're actually not going to be looking at every single little town or city in Hawaii. We're actually going to be focusing on Honolulu, since that's like the biggest part of Hawaii so far. So Honolulu is... So here is Erick, and here is Tropical Storm Flossie. That you guys don't know, that Tropical Storm Flossie was actually a hurricane, but it did go back to a tropical storm. So Honolulu is Hurricane Erick is 750 miles southeast of Honolulu. And if you guys want to know how far Erick is from your area in Hawaii, just look at the cities, just pause the video. Also, Tropical Storm Flossie is actually getting closer to Hawaii now. It's actually at 2,070 miles away from Honolulu. A couple hours ago, it was 2,150. So it is moving at a very, very, very fast rate. We're not going to be looking at a whole lot of this. So here we had Hurricane Erick, not too far. It is at 115 miles per hour now. So again, it is weakening very fast. Earlier, 3 hours ago, it was at actually 120 miles per hour. Now the minimal central pressure is 960 millibars. So that's also showing it is getting disorganized, the millibars. We also are having it moving 14 miles per hour to the west-northwest now. So it's starting to take that west-northwest turn like this now. So that's why it's going to be missing the island. And then here we have Tropical Storm Flossie here at 70 miles per hour and 995 millibars. So it has gotten a whole lot weaker. But again, it is expected to go back to a hurricane, which is actually surprising. And then it is moving to the west at 16 miles per hour. So it is gaining, it's going at a high velocity now. And so here is the radar or the satellite imagery for Hurricane Erick. We actually finally have our eye again. We have our eye. We didn't have the when we last looked 3 hours ago, we did not have the eye formation, but we are having it come back again. So if you see that little area right here. If you look right here, right now, you do see the eye. You do see me moving right like this. So that's where we have the eye now. It's actually back. And this huge area, this is where we have basically the big area, technically the hurricane, and then these outer areas are the outer bands now that do bring additionally some 2 inches before the system even before the major part of the hurricane even makes landfall. So that's why we do have flooding issues. And again, we do have the eye wall that's surrounding the eye. That's actually the worst part of the storm there. It's going to bring the worst amount of the winds and also the rain. And then it is, again, we are having a big chunk. We did have a big chunk of clouds connect to Hurricane Erick. So I bet, even though it's getting weaker, I still bet that's actually what helped it get it's organized again. So now we're going to be looking at the cone and timing. So look, it did update. Again, it didn't really change a whole lot, but it did refresh the timing now. So it does go a couple hours back to the X. So the X was from 11 a.m. Wednesday, but the winds 11 a.m. today. But the winds are all refreshed. It's just some reason they want to show it from the past. So this type of orange circle, that this color right here, that's tropical storm force winds currently. So it's currently the current winds, tropical storm force winds. So that whole area in the yellow, that's where we have all the tropical storm force winds. So it's a lot of the hurricane is tropical storm force winds, and then we do have the very small area in the brown, which is actually current hurricane force winds. Again, it's not going to be really that big, especially that's weakening. It's going to be getting smaller and smaller. So if we go all the way to 8 p.m. Tomorrow, it is still a hurricane, and again, it just dodges the cone. Again, it does get a whole lot bigger, but the cone just dodges the island. If you actually really look very, very carefully, it's like 2 miles away from the island, basically, the edge of the cone. And then it does become a tropical storm on Friday, and then by Monday it is subtropical depression. Erick. Now we're going to be looking at the tracks now. So again, only 2 models do showing it going out of the way, and 1 model does show it hitting Hawaii. But actually, it's not even hitting Hawaii. It's actually going right in between the islands. So even if that happens, it's going to be incredibly lucky. But again, this is basically the cone. I'm actually going to draw the cone to expect just by looking at the majority of the models. So based on this is my cone to where it's going to be going. All the models are kind of showing it, of course, dodging the Hawaii. And so basically, you don't really need to know a whole lot about this. All you need to know is that Erick really won't be hitting the island. So now we'll be looking at the intensity guidance. And again, it's actually very, very close to becoming Category 2. It should become a Category 2 within the next 4 to 6 hours. So again, it's going to be it's going to be getting weaker incredibly fast. That's what happens when you get close to the shore or close to some cold water. It's just basically, it's like a sand tower or a sand castle. The water comes, just takes it down. That's basically an example of what's happening here. So it's not going to be a Category 2 for a whole long time. I say maybe, basically, I would say it'll be a Category 2 for maybe 6 hours, and then it'll go straight to Category 1. So you see it's going straight down at a basically 180-degree angle, kind of like this, basically. It kind of is. It's going to be getting to a tropical storm within the next 36 hours or 24 hours, so we can actually weaken incredibly fast. And then some of the models do show it, or most of the models do show it staying at a tropical storm a bit longer than it weakening from categories. So again, they will be going down a little bit, and then it will kind of go like this. So it will have a bit more time to be a tropical storm. It's not going to be like when it goes down the categories like that. But yeah, basically all you need to know about Erick is that it's going to be missing Hawaii and that it's going to be weakening from now on. So now we're going to be looking at what we have now for Tropical Storm Flossie. This is what it looked. If you guys look at the beginning, that's what it looked like right now, 3 hours ago. But it is becoming a hurricane very, very soon again. And look, it's getting its circulation back. It's getting a lot more organized. We are having that vorticity in the center. I believe that will be the center. And these clouds right here, I believe, will come around like this. And then these clouds will come around like this. And then that's where we'll have these outer bands again. You can actually see it. I know I have a lot of arrows. But Tropical Storm Flossie is getting its formation back. It's getting its vorticity back. So again, Flossie will be becoming a hurricane very, very soon. Again, we actually have a lot of vorticity here. Again, I was not going to be surprised if this actually happens. Again, we are going to be having these bands coming this way. And then these coming this way. So that's where we see it meet. These bands meet, and then that will actually possibly when we have that hurricane back. It's probably going to be very, very late into today. A very, very, very early tomorrow. I mean, like 1 a.m. or 2 a.m. when it becomes a hurricane again. But again, we are having that vorticity right here. Right here, we're having a lot of rotation. We actually are having some rotation form right here. These outer bands need to form. And oh boy, we have a whole lot of vorticity right here. I know it's very, very complicated, but vorticity is kind of think of like a tornado, the rotation it needs, except in the water, and it feeds off warm water. As you can tell, we do have that current tropical storm force winds. Again, it's not too big. Again, it's like a semicircle right now. It's like this right now because, again, it is very unorganized right now. It kind of looks like a potato. If you kind of look, it's kind of like a potato. But very, very soon, you will have that circle formation then again because it will become a hurricane incredibly soon. When I mean soon, I really don't mean super soon. I actually thought it was going to be sooner than I thought, but it's actually showing till 8 p.m. Thursday. It is showing when it goes to that hurricane. I actually thought it was going to be a whole lot sooner I actually think, guys, it might be a lot sooner than this says. I really don't think it's going to be that late into tomorrow because it only needs five more miles per hour to become a category 1. I don't think it's going to take 24 hours for that to happen. I really don't. So you guys can choose to believe this or me, but I think it's going to be earlier on. I think maybe if tomorrow, maybe around the early afternoon. And then it is for sure a hurricane on Saturday. And then within the next 4 to 5 days right here, we are having a hurricane on Sunday. And right before it gets to Hawaii, it is going to become a tropical storm on Monday. And you see, it looks like most of the cone will go through Hawaii, but not the center. The center will go like this. The center will go like this. Because already a lot of you guys are asking, why is the cone going straight through? But the cone, it's obviously the Hawaii is going to be in the cone, but not the eye. So that's why not an incredibly huge problem. But that's why we're still taking a close look on this. So as you can tell, the models are cutting very, very close. We actually have a whole lot of models right here. A lot of you guys are paying attention to these models that go like this. I think let me get this out of here, guys. Don't want you guys to keep on looking at that. So a lot of you guys are looking at the other ones, but look at this. We have 4 or 5 models that are showing it going this way. Again, they aren't going as long at a time period like these, but you see we have a whole lot of models going straight that can potentially make a whole lot of damage into the major island. And then we have the AVNI that does show it potentially affecting Honolulu. But again, it's going to be cutting very close. Let me try the yellow color if this works. Okay, yeah, the yellow color is better. So the cone for me, based on this, I think it would actually miss the island. I really do. I really don't think it's going to hit the island. And I don't want to say it will hit the island if it's not a really good chance. If it hits the island, I think maybe there's a 20% chance of that happening. Because, again, it's not going to be super incredibly low. So that's the cone, really. Again, these other models right here are cutting very close there to hitting the island. But we just need to wait a bit more. Because, again, it's going to be till, like, next week. Till it makes, it's going to be Monday or Tuesday. Now we're going to be looking at the intensity guidance because, again, a lot of you guys are asking, what do you mean it's going to go back to a hurricane? So here it is right now at 60 knots at a category 1, tropical storm. It was right here earlier today, and then it went down, and then it looks like it's going to go back up. So it is going to, again, take a bit longer of a time, but a lot of the models do swing getting to a tropical storm within the next 12 hours, and then the latest is 48 hours. I really don't think it's going to take that long, guys. And then a whole lot of models are showing reaching category 1. And when they reach category 1, they show basically a moderate category 1, not a very weak one. And I don't think you guys can actually tell, but more models compared to the last time we did 3 hours ago, a whole lot more models are showing it reaching to a category 1. Within the next 24 hours here, we will have Erick start to weaken, and then that's when we have Flossie start to strengthen. So it's kind of the opposite. When Erick was strengthening, Flossie was weakening, like right now, and then it's going to be switching. So within the next 48 hours, it's just going to miss the island right here again. Let me just go back for those people who want to know. It's going to go right and miss the island. At this point, the strongest system will be Flossie at 71 knots. So at this point, it is a category 1. It will weaken to 54 knots. Again, it's going to be weakening, and then it strengthens again to a category 1, 76 knots. So that's why it's still a big issue. And then it looks like it just misses the island. it will still bring in some wind issues and some raining issues. But I just have a feeling that Hawaii has a force field. So guys, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please do not forget to like and subscribe, and bye guys.